So all these figures about which we are talking, the penetration and all these things, I think that is going to be the biggest paradigm shift. And that is going to make all those Jan Dhan Bima Yojana accounts fully operative. Of course, as Mr. Manikam was telling, we should always be optimistic that all these things happen, but it will happen. And if it happens, it will be for the good of the country. And it will be a big, big revolution. The penetration about which you are talking, 3%, 4%, I do not know what percentages it can reach. So a lot of work is happening there. Some of this is because of the bill, some of this is because of the initiatives of the regulator, some of this is because of the initiative of the government. We cannot say the bill is going to be the paradigm shift. We cannot say the regulator is going to be the paradigm shift, he is creating new channels, so the regulator is creating the paradigm shift. No, we cannot say the government is doing it alone. Government is also consulting everybody and doing it. Ultimately, the people of this country are going to create the paradigm shift in insurance marketing. If every customer, if every insurable person in this country has a bank account and has an insurance account, I think that will be the most creditable thing which can ever happen. And it looks to me that it's going to happen much sooner than we ever thought it's going to happen. All these penetration figures, whether it's 3.4% or we are going by 0.5% or 0.3%, I think even as a regulator or even as the ex-chairman of LIC or Mr. Mehrotra or all of us will be baffled by the new figures, I hope. And I'm very optimistic we'll be baffled with the new figures when the figures are rolled out after a year. Hopefully in the same hall, we'll be talking about new figures with the MMA delegates and all of you. 26% to 49% was one thing. Indian ownership was another thing. These two things most of us know because it was hogging the newsline, as I was telling. The act also, the new bill, created the vertical called health insurance. Earlier, health insurance was generally taken as a part of general insurance. Now they said health insurance will be a separate vertical. It's again very good for the country. Health insurance companies, we already have 5 of them operating in this country, and many people require health insurance. And I think health insurance there will be many companies in this segment which would like to come and operate in this space. If the money is coming, FDI money, I would, as a part of the regulatory authority, be very much happy if money comes from the health insurance sector also, because all of us require a lot of health care. The entire country, population here requires a lot of health care. And if we can get more companies operating here, the cost will definitely come down, will be more reasonable, and that will be again good for the country. This bill has created that separate space for health insurance, and that is again very important. All of us have heard about that city called a gift city. Nowadays we hear about smart cities and gift cities and all these things. We have heard about the gift city, I think the Ahmedabad gift city, Gujarat gift city. There's a city within Gujarat, I think it is called the gift city. Otherwise, my expression may mean that Gujarat is a gifted city. There's a gift city in Gujarat, which is supposed to be a financial city or something like that. A lot of films are shown there. There's a beautiful internet website on that and things like that. Here in this city, they have again told that you can operate insurance companies to cover the reinsurance of this, and even reinsurers from outside can set up branches there. So that is how the bill tries to develop a reinsurance. We have one reinsurer in this country, the GIC, which is not able to, which may not be having the capacity to retain the full risk. So they will be in turn ceding the risk to other foreign reinsurers. Now the foreign reinsurers will be operating from the gift city, and they will be handling this. So reinsurance growth can be seen. Lloyds will also be coming into this country. The bill has allowed Lloyds reinsurers to enter Indian market as a branch. But whatever it is, as a branch also, it will make a very significant impact on reinsurance markets, and the business there will definitely grow. I think this will also be a very important aspect of this bill. That is where we expect the money to come, and that's where we expect the insurance penetration and the insurance segment to grow. You are already explained about the nominee, the benefit of nominee. I'd like to go a little into the history of it. Earlier nominations were done. Even earlier to this bill, nominations were done. And there were quite a few disputes on nominations. And disputes used to be referred to the courts. And courts will decide who is the legal hire and this thing. And nominee is designated as a person who is empowered to receive the money. He is not the person who is the owner of the money. He is supposed to be the receiver of the money. Now in this bill, they have added new terminology called the collector nominee. The beneficiary nominee and the collector nominee. So a collector nominee will be, what used to happen earlier in LIC was, I'm talking more about LIC, when there's a dispute, we used to go to the court and tell, okay, you keep the money with you. We are prepared to settle the claim. Now there's a dispute among the nominees, so I don't know who is the nominee. So the case is pending in your court, so I will try to deposit the money in the court. The courts used to accept the deposits. The nominee money, the claim money, because LIC would like to, I will say, wash off the hands of claims. So they'll ask the court, I think Mr. Mehrotra will agree with me, that was the procedure. We used to give it to the court and the court would keep the money. Now there's a collector nominee who is supposed to collect the money. And he is not the owner of the money. The beneficiaries, as was explained to you, will be the persons. So this has been very clearly defined. Huh? Yeah. The collector nominee will take the money and the beneficiary nominees can take the money. The courts want to have lesser disputes at their doorsteps and make the person who has made the nomination responsible for making the nomination in a very right way. Otherwise, sometimes some people will nominate a trust and things like that. So all these things have now been addressed. And this portion on nomination has been done by the Judicial Commission of India. And the assignment also. Assignment earlier was the policy was assigned. As it was explained to you, if I have a 10 lakh policy, if I assign it to somebody for a loan of 1 lakh, then my 9 lakhs get locked to him. So I cannot use the 9 lakhs. Now I can assign 1 lakh. I still have the right for 9 lakhs. I can assign to a bank for my child's education, for this thing. So I can use it very effectively. Because the fund is with me, it is not going as one bulk to one person. I have to get it back. If I have a 10 lakh policy, I can give 2 lakhs for my housing loan, 2 lakhs for my child education. I can nominate, I can assign the policy in parts. That is one thing. But the more important thing is most of the policies today have riders. Health rider, accident rider. These riders also get attached to the policy. And when the policy is assigned, the rider also goes to the assignee. So if the policyholder suffers a health condition, the policy is assigned to this is a lot of thing. Who will claim the health benefit? And because the policy is assigned, he should give the discharge. The technical things there were very complicated. And people were facing a lot of problems. Now, you can assign the main policy and keep the rider with you. Because if you are keeping your health rider with you, you may need a health rider at any point of time. You may need a critical illness rider at any point of time. So you can assign the main policy to your bank and the riders can be kept. So this is another thing which has been done. I hope that is again, of course I will not ask anyone of you to clap on this as my friend Mr. Marikam was asking.